Hello my darlings, welcome back to the channel. As always, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. So in my last video I talked about Harry's recent polo match appearance, but there's something I didn't go into much detail about because I thought it would fit nicely into today's video, and it's regarding something that Nacho said in his Instagram caption when he posted about the polo event. So I'm just going to read that again if you didn't catch it. He said, "How lucky I am to be able to ride with you in our mission of making the world a better place for people not as fortunate as us. It is your commitment and passion to give back that is my inspiration. It was so great spending a couple of days with you, my friend." And that last bit right there, "it was so great getting to spend a couple of days with you, my friend," is the part that I want to hone in on today, because Harry was able to spend a few days with his friends without the paparazzi and press knowing. There is not one single pap picture of Harry in Colorado. All of the pictures of the event were official photos. The best the press rats could do was sending a pap down to the airport to get Harry stepping off of his private jet. While British officials are currently failing the people of Afghanistan, instead of focusing on that, the British media has decided to trash a military service member who served 2 tours in Afghanistan instead. How pathetic is that? Now, I just want to make comment on this whole private jet thing for a moment before I go into the main topic of today's video, because I am not in any way against criticizing celebrities or high-ranking officials, calling them out on their hypocrisy. However, I want us to consider this. Harry is still a prince. He is a high-ranking diplomat, meaning that his very presence anywhere is a security risk. In this era of terrorism, I would be highly unnerved if such an individual was on a commercial aircraft with me. There are genuine security considerations and risks involved with having such an individual on a commercial aircraft, and God forbid the Sussexes ever took a commercial plane and something happened, the same people would be asking, why didn't they take a private jet instead of putting civilians at risk? They should have known they were a target. So I'd like for us to put that argument to bed. In any case, when it comes to mass pollution, it's the major corporations that we should be focusing on. They cause the most damage to the environment, and they're getting away with it because the media focuses on buffoonery like this. But back to the main point of today's video. Harry was able to move in silence and without any leaks, and this is pretty much in line with how the Sussexes' affairs have been conducted ever since they stepped back as working royals. More specifically, ever since they left Canada. Their location was leaked while they were there, but once they left, that was pretty much it. There was a small leak regarding their location when they were living in Tyler Perry's house, but that wasn't for some time, and when they did move into their own Montecito home, we didn't know for weeks until they announced it. And anything and everything since then we have heard about the Sussexes have been directly from them or their people. We didn't know about their Netflix deal, we didn't know about Meghan's book deal, we didn't know about the Spotify deal, or their involvement in Back's Live. Nothing, not one single leak. To be a fly on the wall of these British tabloid newsrooms when they announced that Netflix deal in particular, only to follow it up with a Spotify deal, I mean, God. They must have been furious, like veins, arteries and capillaries all popping at the same time. And considering how many heads and hands are involved in these major projects, it's quite phenomenal that there are no leaks. When you have that much loyalty, it's more than just business. It's because people genuinely want to see you succeed, because I promise you, if there were people in the Sussexes' immediate orbit that wanted to see them fail, there would still be leaks and sabotage of some kind, but we have not seen that so far. Now, I'm sure there are probably a lot of NDAs involved, but really, if you're lucky enough to be involved in a project with the Sussexes, do you want to risk everyone knowing that you're a loose-lipped rat by leaking anything? Probably not. There's no amount of money that is worth being a leak because being loyal to the Sussexes pays more. Now, being loyal to the firm, on the other hand, pays nothing. Literally, the wages for working for the royals are notoriously low, and when you consider the horrible treatment you probably receive, especially as a woman or person of colour, why would you stay loyal? This is why there are so many leaks that come out of Kensington Palace, Buckingham Palace, Clarence House, just the firm all around. I can guarantee you that people in those households are storing emails, taking notes, writing their own memoirs, ready for whenever they leave. I mean, just look at how long Paul Burrell has been able to make a living off of Diana. It's been over 2 decades and they still wheel this guy out every other week to talk about the same darn thing, even though he has nothing to offer to the conversation other than baseless comments. There is going to be a whole printing press for anyone and everyone, even loosely connected to the royals. Well, there already is, but it's going to explode even further, I feel, after the Queen passes away. I think a lot of people still have a certain level of respect for her, and so they're still on their P's and Q's, but after she's gone, it's gonna go down. I mean, wouldn't you do the same? And imagine having to work and essentially live with people who know your dirty laundry and would sell you out for a loaf of bread. That is the position that Kate, William, Charles, and all the rest of them are currently in. It just goes to show how much the Sussexes were being sabotaged and ratted out to the press when they were still within the fold of the firm. And the best part of them leaving is all the rodents in the press have zero access to them now. It is hilarious to watch all of these royal road to liars speak as if they still know what's happening in Harry and Meghan's orbit, when all they do is make common sense guesses and basic statements, or just make up rubbish altogether. This is why, in order to cover up for the fact that they know nothing, they distract with sensationalist headlines aimed at sending the emotions of their dumbed down readership into overdrive, so they don't even realize that they're being manipulated. I mean, just look at this red marked article from the Daily Fail tallying up everything Harry was wearing at the polo event. This is how so-called journalists are using their time. Look at this deranged obsession. Whatever the costs of his participation in this polo match pale in comparison to how much was raised and how much Harry took out of his own pockets, and not a single penny of those millions came from the British taxpayers' pockets. The British press have nothing. This is why they keep having to drag out the Markles, Thomas, Samantha and the other one, or bring up old talking points that have already been disproven, things like the fake bullying claims against Meghan. It's a desperate attempt to cover up for the fact that they have nothing new to say because they know nothing. It's also a way of ensuring that the headlines keep rolling and they keep making money, because ever since the Sussexes left, their bank accounts are depleted and the other royals do not bring in the clicks, print sales and demand for pictures. There is only so long coat dresses are going to keep the people interested, and the clock is ticking. The era of Rona has really hit the royals hard. Even people who would usually be interested in them, and it is a dwindling number of people, especially overseas, are distracted by all the current issues from the last 18 months. And then throw in the Oprah interview. Now the whole world knows that the British press are liars and the firm is a lying racist racket. Where the Sussexes are now is the level of peace and privacy they deserve. No drama, no leaks, and a group of people who respect them and want to be on a winning team. The palace staff are a bunch of vipers and rats scurrying for scraps because they know they're on a losing team, and they are only going to get worse with time, especially after Betty dies. It's going to be a bloodbath of backstabbing and power grabs. Thank goodness Harry and Meghan left that leaky house of horrors before things got worse. They are going to be able to move in silence, and in silence is where the power is. That's all for today, my lovelies. Thank you as always for your support. You are under no obligation to at all, but if you would like to support the channel, hit the link in the description box. You can donate via Cash App, buy me a coffee, or super chats have now been activated during lives. But sharing, liking, commenting and subscribing are my main love languages, and I appreciate you for just being here. See you in the next one, my lovelies. Ciao!